Thank you, Madam Chair. And let me just say thank you to Representative Schuler and Representative Lukemeyer for their work on this important piece of legislation. I also want to say thank you to Ranking Member Graves and yourself, Madam Chair, for allowing my bill, H.R. 1838, the SBA Women's Business Centers Improvement Act, to be included in this Job Creation through Enterprise Act. As we may remember, this piece of legislation, language that I have, passed out of the committee and off the floor last year, and of course it got over to the Senate where it died a death. So we have included this piece of legislation back in this bill. This section of legislation rearranges the distribution of funding for the women's business centers to offer temporary assistance rather than permanent dependency on the federal government. In the mid-1990s, the federal government began awarding grants to women business centers that were operating as nonprofit operations in conjunction with institutions of higher learning. Originally, these grants were intended to be awarded to business centers in their first 5 years, with the understanding that after this fifth-year period had ended, the center itself would be self-sustaining. And although many women's business centers did meet this goal, some did not, and for a variety of reasons. And as a result, a greater percentage of the funding of this program had been consumed by the operating costs of potentially unviable centers rather than its intended purpose of establishing new women's business centers. So this was a drag upon the system and viable business centers that were not truly serving an unmet need in their communities. And we felt like we needed language in this to add accountability, transparency within the funding, and to add measurable results. And I appreciate you including this language once again in this overall piece of legislation. Thank you so much.